Raise Your Energy podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about manifestation. And I'm going to give you maybe a bit of a tough love truth about manifesting and something that you might not have realized before. And then I give you 3 really great tips and watch outs if you want to strengthen your manifestation muscle. So it's gonna be a knowledge-packed episode, lots to learn and lots to implement afterwards into your life. So let's get started. Right, so have you ever consciously manifested in your life? Have you ever given it a go, or maybe you even have a practice? If your answer is yes, how did it work so far? What were your results? Maybe you're saying that, well, you have some good examples of where it actually worked, and then maybe a small example where you think it didn't work. And if your answer is no, you never tried it out and maybe you don't even believe in it, then I will give you a message today, and that is that you are manifesting all day long. You're just not aware of it. If I asked you what manifestation means to you or what you understand under it, what would you say? If I had to answer the question, which of course I will now, is that most people think about manifestation is of thinking something they want to bring into their life or a change in their life that they want to make reality. So they have a lack of something, or they desire a change or something in their life, and through manifestation, through thinking about it, through visualizing it, they want to make it happen, and well, if best even quicker, right? So that's how I would probably describe manifestation, of how we describe it mainly in media, right? It's kind of a message into the universe and you hope to bring it into reality, into your life. When people talk about manifestation, at the same time, they describe quite often as well the law of attraction. And the law of attraction means that something is like for like. So if you have a particular thought about something positive that you want to have, then you attract it and it comes into your life. The first time I have heard about manifestation and the law of attraction was through the book and the movie from Rhonda Byrne, The Secret. And at the same time, around the same time, was the book and the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? Maybe you have heard of them, maybe you have read them, maybe you have watched them, but check them out. I actually have both of these books on my shelf and I've watched the movies many times. And I think it's really good to rewatch them, reread them and remind ourselves of what it is, because it is a very important law. So I have personally used manifestation in my life since I kind of heard about it. So since the movies and the books. And I would, until recently, probably say the same, that, well, I have some good examples of where it worked. And then otherwise, I don't have examples, or maybe I could even come up with things where it didn't work. Now I know that this is not the way of how manifestation or the law of attraction works, because it works all the time. So this was my old way of thinking, and now I'm very consciously thinking about the new way, which I'm going to describe to you. And the new way, the new message is for you that manifestation always works. We are the creators of our life, and we create everything in our lives. And with everything, I mean the good and the bad. I have learned this through meditation and the work I'm doing about energy. And that's kind of where I want to describe to you of where this comes from. If you think about it, everything is energy. If we think about the 3D world, the outside world, everything you can experience with your senses, then everything takes energy, everything is energy. So let's say you go for a walk. You spend energy going for that walk, right? Moving your body from one place to the other takes your energy. Let's say you are at work and you are in a Zoom call. That conversation that you're having with your colleague or your boss takes your energy as well, right? If you want to buy a car, it takes energy. First of all, the process of actually going there and buying it, but as well the money that you're spending. That money is energy. Just think about how much you worked to get to that money so you can now buy the car. That's a lot of time and energy that you spend as well, just acquiring and collecting and saving all of that money that you're now spending on the car. So all of that is energy, but that's not the only place energy is spent and collected again. We are, of course, collecting energy through sleeping and through food intake, right? That's how we replenish our energy and then we spend it. But most of the times we just think about how we spend our energy outside of us, but we're spending a lot of energy and using a lot of energy as well inside of us. And that's not just the physical processes that are going on in our body, the breathing, the digestion, the nervous system, all of that. No, it's as well our thoughts and our feelings. Our thoughts and our feelings are processes as well inside of us. And they take energy. They even create energy. They create a particular frequency. And every thought and every feeling has its own frequency. If you think about dialing a phone number because you want to speak to somebody on the other side of the world, you're dialing a very particular number to get to that person. That is like a frequency, because if you're just dialing any kind of number, you will end up with any kind of person on the world. And that's exactly how you can imagine how our thoughts and our feelings work. They are on a particular frequency. If you have one particular thought, it sends out one particular frequency, one particular message. And the same happens with feelings. Feelings have different levels of frequencies. What we call more negative or lower vibes of feelings, they have lower amounts of frequency. And the more you feel good, the more you feel love and joy, the higher the frequencies are. But everything we do in our mind, the thoughts that we create and the feelings that go with it, or maybe we just create a feeling inside of us, all of that sends out messages on frequencies to the universe. And that's part of the manifestation process. That's what happens when you want to manifest something in your life. You're thinking about something and you want to combine it as well with a feeling. And we're going to talk more about that later when I get to the watch out and the tips. Let's take an example. So let's say you went to a job interview and you come out of the job interview and you don't feel very good. You feel kind of disappointed of how it went, of how you performed. You feel a bit sad. And the next few days until you get your feedback, you keep thinking that you're probably not going to get the job. You probably did not do a good enough job in that interview, and you probably get them to say no and choose somebody else. All of that time that you're having these thoughts, combined with these feelings, you are manifesting. You are sending it out into the world that you're not getting the job, and you're even supporting these thoughts with the fitting feelings to it of sadness and disappointment, and you are actually manifesting this into your life. And what happens when you then actually get the call of that they chose somebody else? You might even say, I knew it, I didn't get the job. So you are even kind of confirming that what you manifested in your life. But what happens is that you think that you didn't, yes, you had the impact of that outcome during the interview. You think that's what it all is, and then probably a lot of other variables outside of you, but you're not conscious, you're not aware that you manifested that outcome, that you had a big part of that outcome, even in the days after the interview. The state that you were in the whole time about worrying and thinking that you wouldn't get the job actually manifested this into your life. And sadly, you are just not aware of bringing anything into your life, the good things and the bad things, because we are the creators of our life. We have the power, and manifestation doesn't just work with the good stuff and the future stuff. It actually happens all the time. All of the thoughts and the feelings we have had in the past, they created our now, the situation we are in. And if we are having in the now thoughts that are not very high vibrating on the higher frequencies, and we have the feelings that go with it, then we are creating again that into our future. And if it's not very positive thoughts and positive feelings, then that's going to be our future, because manifestation just doesn't work the one way, it works both ways. It works all the time. And I know it might sound a little bit harsh to say that people create all of their life, the good and the bad, because if they see something happening in their life, maybe a tragedy or an accident, they will argue with me or with you to say that I didn't manifest this car accident into my life. And sure, you didn't sit down and thought about that car accident like it would happen. But what happened in that scenario is that you let go of that creator power. You let it happen into you. It's like life bumped into you and wants to give you a message, and you didn't look out for what you are creating in your life. You think that you don't have control about the things that are happening in your life, especially when something more negative happens in your life. You think that it was outside influences or it's by chance, or you might even believe that you're attracting certain bad things into your life or bad events, that you're unlucky. You give away your creator power. But by giving away your creator power, you are literally creating that no power in your life. If you do, I give you a question. Do you want to keep living your life in the belief that you have no control over it? Ask yourself the question, do you want to keep having that? If you do, you're literally gonna create it. You have a life with no control. See, you literally created it. You're the creator of your life. If you believe that you have no say in certain things happening in your life and you have no control over it, you will have no control over it. But do you understand that you actually created it in your life? I know, sounds a bit crazy, might be a little bit much, but this is a big message that I wanted to give you. I think a lot of people always think that manifestation just works this one way and it's something that we just do sporadically, and the other stuff that happens around us we have no control over, and we have not, of course, attracted this into our lives, right? I mean, why would we? We're not sitting down and wanting bad things to happen to us. Of course not. But through the thoughts and the feelings that we keep having all day long, we create it in our life. It just doesn't seem like it. We are just not so aware of it. And the reason for that is that quite often, you know, the thoughts that you're having and the feelings that you're having inside of you in the event happening is not always a very fast correlation. It's not you have the thought and the feeling and immediately something bad happens. That's not how it works. That's not how it works on the good manifestation either, right? You actually put some effort into it. It takes a while. Sometimes it's very quick. Sometimes it takes longer. And that's the same with the bad stuff that happens in our lives as well. And then when we don't see that correlation happening immediately, we think we didn't manifest it. We think that we had no influence over that thing happening in our life. For example, that we get ill, that we get a disease, that we get a sickness. We think that we had nothing to do with it. But if we are really honest with ourselves and we look back at our lives and how we lived our life, what kind of thoughts we kept having in our lives, and what kind of feelings did we carry around inside of us, then if we're really honest and really understand the principle of being the creator in our life, we might be able to be honest to ourselves and say, well, no surprise that I got this illness. No surprise that this manifested inside of my body, because for years and decades I had these thoughts, not of the illness in my mind, but thoughts of something bad happening to me, or I kept carrying thoughts around inside of me that were on a lower frequency. And then whatever we're thinking and feeling manifests in our 3D world. It manifests maybe in the outside world, or it manifests inside of our body as an illness, a sickness, a disease. I know it sounds not so nice to say it out loud, but the sooner you realize it, the sooner you accept it and are willing to take that power back and using it for bringing more good things into your life, the better you can turn that ship around, the better you can heal yourself, the better you can create really something that you truly want in your life. And that might be healing from what you currently have, or letting go of what is currently in your life, or who's currently in your life. Does that make sense to you? So which way do you want to live? Do you want to keep putting a blind eye to what I just told you and thinking that everything around you, everything that you don't want currently in your life, but it is there, that you had nothing to do with it and some other outside power just brought it into your life and you just have to live with it? You can decide to keep living like that, or you can realize that you had something to do with it and that you are the creator of your life and that you have the power to change what you currently want to change by changing your thoughts, your feelings. And that leads me to the tips and the watch outs I want to give you today, because I can probably talk for hours about manifestation with you, and I would love to, but let's keep it as three tips and watch outs, but they're very much linked to what I've just told you. So the first one is about the feelings that we're having. Quite often when we use affirmations or we use visualization to manifest or bring something in our life, we think we just have to think about it. We just have to visualize it, and maybe we're even writing something down. What we are quite often forgetting are the feelings, and the formula of manifesting something into your life are the thoughts, so the intentions, the clear intentions of what we want in our life, combined with the feelings that we are having once it comes true, as if it has already come true. So the next time you sit down and you want to consciously manifest something in your life, maybe you do it through a meditation, through journaling, through visualization on a vision board, for example. Make sure that you combine it with the feelings that how will you feel when you manifest it into your life? What kind of feelings come to you? The good feelings. Once it all comes true, how are you going to feel? And in that exercise of manifestation, as I said, through meditation or journaling or looking at your vision board, bring up the feelings, because like I said, the formula is not just the intention of the thinking and the visualization, the picturing, it's as well the emotion. These two together are the pure manifestation power, and that's why it's so important that you bring in as well the feelings, that you feel them inside of you as if it already happened. Okay, that is number one, and really, really, really important. And let me just give you an example as well. Not just an example, but as well being very clear about your intentions. So let's say you would like to have more money in your life. I want you to become much clearer about what more money means. Because what you could be doing already all the time is actually manifesting more money into your life, but it might be just $1. $1 is more money. You want to be very clear about what you want to manifest in your life. If it's money, how much money? How much money do you want more in your life? Be very clear about your intention of what you want into your life. The clearer you are, the better for the universe. It's exactly the same, like I said earlier, you're dialing a phone number because you want to talk to a person. If you're dialing just half of the number and the other number you're just guessing, the chance of you reaching that person that you want to talk to decreases significantly, right? So you want to dial the whole number. You want to be very clear with the message to the universe and the intention that you want to set. The clearer, the better. It's not about the how you get there and not when it happens, but the clearness of the outcome. So think really clear. What are all the variables about that intention that you're setting for yourself, and then combining it with the feeling. And one other important point in that is to not change your mind all the time. So don't keep manifesting every day and changing something about it because you change your mind suddenly. Sure, if you don't want to manifest this anymore in your life, then stop manifesting it. But don't change parts or all of the variables every day. It's sending mixed messages. It's literally sending mixed messages into the universe. And you're decreasing, again, the power of the universe of bringing it into your life. So be very clear, be repetitive, be mindful of sending out the same clear message, and then bringing in the feelings as well. Okay, so that's number one. Second is about some other effectiveness of manifestation. And I want to explain to you about how you manifest and what you do for the rest of the day. So think about you sitting down, let's say you're manifesting in a meditation and you spend 30 minutes of your day on this. And the rest of the day, the other 15 and a half hours, you're actually thinking thoughts that are contradicting what you want to manifest. And that's not going to work, right? I mean, it's pretty clear and it's very logic that the 30 minutes of thinking about what you want to manifest and having the right feelings against the 15 hours having exactly feelings that are contradictory to it is not going to work. I think that's pure math and that's very logic. So a lot of people think that if they spend a few minutes in their day on affirmations and thinking about what they want, but then they're not conscious about their thoughts for the rest of the day, you are literally sabotaging your manifestation efforts. And it could be that you want to manifest something and the rest of the day you're thinking about that you're probably not going to have it anyway. That's just crazy talk. So be mindful of that, because a lot of people are not mindful of the thoughts and the feelings that they're having, and that it's actually the polar opposite. And the 30 minutes here against the 15 hours there is just not going to work. So this is a very important point that I want to leave you with. So think, act and behave throughout your day as well as if your wish has already happened. And if that is maybe not so possible or a little bit harder, then minimum don't have thoughts that are against your wish. Don't have feelings and do things and act in a way that you're not going to achieve it anyway. Do you understand what I mean? It's just not going to work. That's not manifestation. Well, it is manifestation because you're just manifesting what you don't want in your life. That's pretty clear as well, right? And the third watch out is about exactly what you want to manifest. I want you to be very conscious of not manifesting from a mindset of lack. Quite often we want to move away from something, or we want something in our lives and we are spending a lot of our thinking time and feeling time of missing it, or feeling the lack of it. And again, like before, if you're spending hours and hours per day missing something or lacking something and being in that mindset of not having it yet, so being separated from your goal, you are manifesting the lack into your life. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to manifest a Rolls Royce into your life. And in your manifestation, in your consciously manifestation, when you're sitting down and want to manifest it, what you do is you picture yourself driving it. You see yourself driving it. You see yourself putting shopping bags into the car. You picturing yourself where you're all going with that car and how you close the car and the people around you look at it and go, wow, that's your car? That's amazing. That's all the consciously manifesting that you do. And then what you want to do is you want to bring up the feelings that you have. It's the feelings of joy, of driving it and owning the car, the feeling of abundance and wealth that you have when you own this car, and just the love for life, driving it. That's the feelings that you want to have with that manifestation. So that's what you do when you're manifesting. But when you then stop consciously manifesting and you go about your day and suddenly you realize you're actually feeling lack of not having that car, then you're putting your energy again on that lack. And you could have even feelings with it as well. You could be feeling sadness. You could be feeling disappointment of not owning it yet. You could be feeling this feeling of wanting it and wishing it, but not having it. Do you know what I mean? You are actually manifesting at that moment the lack of not having the car. And we know now by putting energy on and having these thoughts, putting energy on it, having these thoughts of lack means what? You're creating the lack of not having the car. You're creating not having the car into your life. Correct? Yes. So What you want to be mindful of during the day is that you're not falling into thought spirals and feelings of lack. You just want to be mindful of it. And when you realize that you're having them, stop them. Think about something else. Again, maybe go back for a few minutes, sitting in the car and how good it feels. So bring this realization into your everyday life that you might be self-sabotaging your manifestation efforts. All right, these were the 3 tips. I know this was quite a lot. I would suggest that if you're really interested in getting a better creator of your life, that you re-listen to this episode or re-watch the episode on YouTube, the video. So you really got the whole messages that are in there. There's a lot of knowledge in there. There is a lot for you to implement in your life. So go back and listen to it again and start becoming the creator that you already are. But have fun with it. Get into the manifestation game. It's fun. It's really good. And if you want to learn more about manifestation, leave me a comment, send me a message. If you want, you can share this with you. Maybe there is a friend or a family member in your life that could benefit from the episode. Share it with them. This is powerful. This is the good stuff. All right. So thank you so much for listening. It was a pleasure. And until next week, I will love you and leave you and talk to you soon. Bye bye.